She said it felt like destiny. Psychologists have a different word for it. And by the end of this video, you might realize you felt it too. Welcome back to Girl. This is Maya's story, but it might also be yours. Act 1. The Mirror. Maya was the friend who remembered your birthday without being told. The one who stayed on the phone until 2 a.m. when your world was falling apart. She felt everything, other people's pain included. That was her superpower. It was also her weak spot. And Daniel found it on their very first date. He didn't talk about himself. He asked about her childhood, her fears, the things she'd never said out loud. He looked at her like she was the only person in the room. "I've never told anyone this," he said, "but I feel like I can tell you anything." It felt like being truly seen for the first time in her life. It wasn't connection. It was mirroring, reflecting someone's own values and desires back at them until it feels like soulmate-level compatibility. She wasn't falling for Daniel. She was falling for her own reflection, wearing his face. This is love bombing, a flood of attention engineered, sometimes without the person even realizing it, to make you emotionally hooked. Fast. For Maya, it felt like finding home. For Daniel, it was step 1. Act 2. The shift. 3 months later, the cracks started small. You always make everything about you. A canceled plan, no explanation, no apology. Maya noticed. And then she did what so many of us do. She explained it away. "He's stressed. He's had it hard. I just need to be more patient." That's cognitive dissonance at work. Two conflicting truths, one comfortable and one terrifying, and a brain that will bend reality to avoid sitting with the second one. Then the gaslighting started. "You're too sensitive. That never happened. Why do you always do this?" Bit by bit, Maya stopped trusting her own memory. She started running her feelings past Daniel before she was allowed to have them. She'd handed him the map to her mind, and now he was using it against her. Act 3. Why empaths get targeted. Why me? That's what Maya asked her therapist, months later. Not because she was weak, because she was exactly the kind of person Daniel was built to find. Empathic people give the benefit of the doubt, not once, but endlessly. Research has actually linked high empathic concern to greater vulnerability to narcissistic manipulation. Not naivety, just an instinct to understand others that quietly overrides the instinct to protect yourself. Daniel's bottomless need to be understood felt, to Maya, like purpose, like the one job she was made for. She wasn't loving him. She was trying to save him. And he let her keep believing she could. Act 4. When chaos feels like love. Here's the part that made it so hard to leave. It didn't feel fake. It felt like the realest thing she'd ever experienced. That's trauma bonding, the chemical roller coaster that forms between someone and the person who hurts them. Every time Daniel pulled away, Maya's body flooded with stress hormones. Every time he came back soft and sorry, her brain rewarded her with the exact same chemicals released during real love. The high of the reunion, the relief after the storm. Her nervous system learned to read that cycle as intimacy. It was never love. It was survival chemistry, dressed up as depth. Act 5. Finding her way back. 18 months later, a journal, a therapist, and one uncomfortable truth. She had mistaken intensity for intimacy. If any part of this felt familiar, here's where to start. Name what happened. You weren't dramatic. You were manipulated by someone who was good at it. Rebuild your own self-trust. One small decision at a time. And remember, your empathy was never the problem. It's one of your greatest strengths. It just needs boundaries, the same protection you give anyone you love, pointed back at yourself. Maya still stays up until 2 a.m. for the people she loves. She still feels everything. The difference is, now she trusts what she feels about herself, too. That's the whole story. If this hit close to home, share it with someone who needs it. Subscribe for more. And tell me in the comments, have you ever mistaken intensity for intimacy? Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.